What's up, everybody? It's Drinks with the Band. It's Chris Denman live in St. Louis, Missouri at Midcoast Studio. Excited to be here with my friend E.T. Eric Tukoski. Big night ahead. We've got drinks. We've got the War and Treaty cocktails. We're going to be celebrating a fine gentleman as well tonight. We'll get into it. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. E.T., what's up in Los Angeles, man? How are you?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
I'm better now, man. We got a lot going on. We got the War and Treaty tonight. They're extremely talented, taking some time to hang out with us and chat. If people are new to the show, we do a drink. We chat a little bit. ET's usually got some pretty great stories as he is the U.S. ambassador for Jack Daniels. Huge thanks to Jack Daniels for making this possible. We get to do this every Wednesday. This is our second season, and it's an absolute blast getting it done. Also, thanks to the Kranzberg Arts Foundation here in St. Louis, our friends at Snappy Bigman Coffee, and St. Louis Counseling Services. E.T., I see you've got half a face. If you move the photo in front of you a little to your right,
Let's see here.
who's joining you tonight? And let's get right into it. Why is that gentleman joining you?
Hey, we have Francis Albert Sinatra joining us tonight, and reason being, on Saturday night, December 12th, is Frank's would-be 105th birthday.
No kidding.
And you say, why is that relevant? First of all, Sinatra is always relevant. Second of all, if you recall from a little ditty called Young at Heart, there's a line that says, if you should survive to 105, think of all you derive out of being alive. And since we're alive, and Sinatra would be 105, I think let's derive a little fun tonight.
I think we can make that happen. We'll get right into it. Before we do, it was Sammy Davis Jr.'s birthday yesterday as well. Rat Pack. I think we've got a picture of Sammy from back in the day. If producer Key has that, look at that.
Got
Look at
three
the
of them.
guys, man. That's what wild times, man. Synonymous with your brand too, and Sinatra didn't
Yeah.
even get started. Like you guys didn't go after him. He just liked it.
Yeah, he discovered it on its own. It's actually funny. For years and years, we told a story that we thought the Sinatra estate thought was how Sinatra discovered Jack Daniels. And this year, the head of Frank Sinatra Enterprises was listening to a concert from 1982 in Vegas, and Sinatra was drinking Jack Daniels as usual. And he said, "Did I ever tell you the story of how I discovered Jack Daniels?" to the audience. And of course, they cheered or said no, whatever. And basically, I grew up loving Sinatra and, put him on a pedestal. Now, Sinatra is human, so he put people on pedestals. And one of those people he really admired was Humphrey Bogart. And they became friends. And in the early 50s, Sinatra says he was at Bogey's house having dinner at a dinner party. And after dinner, Bogey pulled him aside and said, "What do you want to drink after dinner?" And Sinatra said, "I don't care." And like, "Well, if you don't care, you're drinking Jack Daniels." And Sinatra said, "What the hell is that?" Because it was such a small brand back then. And Bogey's like, poured him a glass, goes, "This is Jack Daniels." And literally from that moment on, Sinatra just fell in love. And I think it was 1954, 55 is the first time we know of him going on stage, held up a glass of Jack Daniels and said to the audience, "This is Jack Daniels. It's the nectar of the gods." And the next year, I think sales doubled at Jack Daniels.
Sometimes those things happen.
Yeah, man, look what's,
yeah.
and that, till Frank passed away in 98 and was with Jack the whole time. And he liked it so much that, in his inside jacket pocket, he was laid to rest with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
That Frank was still a person. Like he's still it's weird to think of that. Like that even when you make it to those legendary heights, that you still have those things that are literally near and dear to your heart in that situation. But this actually influenced our drink choice tonight as well.
It did. And by choice, it's dealer's choice, right? So without being too punny, Frank did things his way. But in deference to that song, I felt like we should all do it our way. So whatever your way is, whether it's, a Jack Highball, an old fashioned, a Manhattan, a Pinky Cohen, whatever drink you want, Hoffman Highball, It doesn't matter. Make your thing. And for me, actually, we should probably tell everyone how Frank drank his whiskey. So Frank Sinatra was 2 fingers of Jack, 3 ice cubes, a dash of water. And that's how he did it. Now I'm going to pretty much do it Sinatra's way, except I'm just going to do 2 fingers of Jack, no ice, no water. And then because I like to keep hydrated, I'll do a little soda water back. So 2 fingers of Jack, soda water back. How about you?
I'm just gonna go neat, man. Let's just rock it. I'm gonna sip
I
it
like it.
like a gentleman. I've got my jacket on this evening. You do as well. Looking good, man.
Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, ring a ding ding.
Definitely enjoy that. Um, Frank Sinatra, legendary, our guest tonight, the Warren Treaty, on their way up. They are rocketing right now. I'm really excited to talk to them. We give away prizes on this show. We tell stories. We hang out. It's always a good time. This week being a special week, ET being the gentleman that he is, he's got prizes for you. I don't know if you have a special way you want to give this away. We could always do favorite Sinatra song in the comments, something like that.
I
Um,
have a good one. I have a good
yeah.
one.
What are you giving away
Um,
tonight, too?
oh yeah. So tonight, we're coming up on the holidays, and Sinatra's kind of one of those guys who's synonymous with a lot of things, but one of those things is Christmas. The holidays were big for Sinatra, and he made a lot of holiday albums. So I thought it'd be fun to give away the Sinatra Ultimate Christmas album. And what better than to put that on your record player, hear that little album crackle, and pour yourself a glass of fine whiskey. So I'm going to also send the winner a pair of etched old number seven rocks glasses,
Very nice.
so you can sit there. And then because I don't want to send a whole big box full of two little glasses, so I'm sure I'll fill that with lots more goodies. And yeah, so that's the prize for tonight: a partially secret Santa box, a couple rocks glasses, and the Sinatra album.
I'm into that. And how do you want people to enter to win? What do you think?
So, we talked about Frank, talked about Sammy Davis Jr., who, by the way, did not drink Jack on the rocks, splash of water. He drank Jack and Cokes. And it used to really bother Frank, and he would give him a lot of chiding for drinking it like that. He didn't want him to put any flavor on top of Jack. But as I always say, the way you enjoy Jack is the best way to drink Jack. And but they were both in a little club called the Rat Pack. So my question for tonight, the first person to answer this correctly will win the prize. And the question is, who coined the phrase the Rat Pack? Now, if by the end of the show we don't get the right answer, we'll take the funnest answer, and then I'll tell you who actually did. But
Okay.
who coined the phrase the Rat Pack?
Love it. Answer in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah.
And you're entered to win a Sinatra Christmas album and two etched glasses. I love that. We also give away a T-shirt. We'll have you hit share, and you can win a potential War and Treaty T-shirt from our guests tonight, thanks to Jack Daniels. So Hanukkah tomorrow as well. Do you guys
Yes.
get down on the Hanukkah?
We do. I mean, I don't really anymore, but I have a niece and nephew that do. So, yeah, so maybe we'll Zoom, light a couple candles, and the COVID way. God, I should have bought stock in Zoom in January.
Right.
Um, the but yeah, so it's a fun, the it's fun that it lasts 8 days, right? So every day you're getting a present. That's a good time.
Right. Yeah. Little bit spread out. A
Yeah.
little bit
You
enjoyable.
kind of build it up, right? When you're a little kid, you start with like the smallest box, and then like the one that looks like a bike being wrapped, you kind of try to wait till the end, but you end up midway. Like, I must have that.
Was there growing up where you did in the Northeast? I mean, there's probably a really good mix of Christmas and Hanukkah folks. I'm wondering, like, at what age you kind of started double dipping. I need to know.
As soon as I could. I mean, next door was
Right.
the DeBridgettes, and they were a Christmas family. So as soon as I could, and his grandma, John was John grew up with me, an associate producer, my cook, and he lived in between us. And his grandmother was a phenomenal. Francine was a phenomenal cook, and they would make homemade pizzas. This is before Food Network and all the where everyone can be a chef. This is all her
Right.
old recipes, and it was amazing. So as soon as I'm like, wait, they get all that? I want dibs on that and Easter and all the good stuff. And now, my wife, it's Christmas, so we blend both of them and just make one big. We try to make, some people have birthdays and some people have birthday weeks and have birthday. We try to at least stretch it out for 2 weeks where it's Hanukkah and Christmas. And now that Hanukkah's so early this year, we got the rest of the month to enjoy.
Yeah, and celebrate, enjoy it. My brother and sister-in-law, they do they have a blended as well. So shout out to Dave and Vicky for getting the celebration on. I'm curious too, with everything that you do, that you travel. We'll bring our guests on in just a few moments. The I, I know you've got some kind of wild Sinatra story. You've shared a few before. Anything come to mind that you'd want to share?
I mean,
Sinatra, Sammy story, whatever
there's
you got.
there's so many. I mean, I'll give you one one serious story and then one fun story. So, back in the day when they would do Vegas as the Rat Pack, the times were a lot different. I mean, seemingly different. And Sammy and the rest of the band, when they first got to Vegas, weren't allowed to stay at the hotels with Frank and Dean. And as soon as Frank heard that, he went to the owner of the hotel and said, "I don't know what's going on." He's like, "Oh, you know how things are." He's like, "I don't know how things are." And he's like, "Well, that's how things are." And Sinatra's like, "Okay, then we're just going to go down the street and play at a different casino." And that ended that. And then, he's like, "Sammy's my brother. The band is my family. Like, they stay where we stay. It's stupid." And that changed the laws in Vegas just because Sinatra said that. And, for all the balanced side of Frank, which the other story will encompass, he always did the right thing. And even though him and Jack never met, the one thing that really bonds Frank and Jack was their generosity. Jack Daniel in his day, he lived in Lynchburg, Tennessee, so it's a tiny little town. And, he saw success in his lifetime. So whenever people in his area, couldn't pay the mortgage on their farm or they had a bad crop season or something was going wrong, they went to Jack and Jack took care of it. And Sinatra was no different. There was a great story of him in Palm Springs. He would just read the paper. And if he read a story about, a mother and her kids that were suffering and had something bad happen in their life, he would just have someone bring an anonymous check to them, never say it's from Frank Sinatra, and give them, thousands of dollars to kind of get right. And there's just countless, countless stories. So coming up on the holidays with all that we're doing, I think we can all take away from Sinatra and Jack that, even though we might be struggling a little bit or a lot bit, there's probably someone struggling more. So, we might not have a bank account like Sinatra, but that doesn't mean we can't help out. And on the fun side of Frank, he was pretty, he was married a few times. He dated quite a bit, and he never really spoke about any of that. He was too much of old school. He kept all his, that part of his life to himself. But there's a restaurant in New York called Patsy's, and a comedian, Tom Dreesen, he opened for Frank for years. And he tells a great story where Frank was at Patsy's, which is still open and still amazing, third generation chef owner. And Sinatra was there with some buddies, and he's like, I forget exactly how it started, but he was doing a show, and maybe this night it got canceled. So there was something going on, and the show got canceled. They were at Patsy's early. Like, let me call a lady friend of mine, see if she can come down. Calls, he's on the phone. He's like, oh, you got to work early. All right, don't worry about it. Don't come down. And then he's like, let me try someone else. Calls another person. He's like, oh, you're going out. You got plans with your girlfriends. Oh, all right, no worries. Don't come down. And then third person he calls, he's like, yeah, we're at Patsy's right now. Oh, you're coming? All right, great. I'll send a car for you. Great. Can't wait to see you. And 15 minutes later, Marilyn Monroe shows up. And at some point, she goes to the ladies' room, and the buddy turns to Sinatra and goes, I have to know who those first two calls were. Right? But so, yeah, man, he lived it all. He enjoyed himself. He took care of people. If you did right by Sinatra, he did right by you. If you did not do right by Sinatra, that would open a whole nother can of worms. But, everything in life is a balance. So.
Very good point. If you guys are just tuning in, Eric E.T. Takaski, he is the U.S. ambassador for Jack Daniels. You can follow him on Instagram at superhype LLC. My name's Chris Denman. You can follow me at InstaDenman on Instagram. You ready to meet our guests? I know you're a big fan of New Orleans and getting down to Jazz Fest. They've got a sad story about that. Let's
Yeah.
talk to War and Treaty. You up for it, buddy?
Let's do it, man. It was they were supposed to headline this year at the Blues Tent at Jazz Fest, so I might have met them, 6 months ago, but I missed that show. They missed that show, but we're going to get there. I'm going to bring my crew to your show in New Orleans next time we're there.
The War and Treaty joined us. Michael, Tanya, thank you so much. And Michael, I like starting things off, really diving into stories and music and all that. But I'm going to tell another grown man over a live stream. That was the cutest face I've ever seen. That was just, you were so disappointed. He was just, oh my gosh. Great to have you guys on, man. Thank you guys.
Thank you for having us. It was
Got-
great.
How are things in the Nashville general area, where every musician on the planet resides in 2020?
It's pretty good. I mean, everybody's trying to wear their mask and trying to slowly get back to work in studios and things like what we're doing now with you guys, Zooms and Facebook Live. So we're keeping.
You're working through it.
Yeah.
E.T., you're a big jazz fest guy. I mean, whenever you have a band like War and Treaty, and you're at that point in your career where, again, you don't have to make the face again. I'm so sorry. They were about to headline the Blues Tent. Huge deal for them. I don't know, E.T., before you get out of here, I guess just kind of share with us your memories from Jazz Fest and what you're going to look forward to whenever these two are back there headlining again in the near future.
Yeah, look, I have buddies from home that we've been meeting at Jazz Fest for 20-some years, and we always stop at the Blues Tent. And by the time we get there, when a band like theirs would be on, we'd be like, oh, we should have got here earlier, because now we're like sitting outside the Blues Tent, like in full New Orleans sun. Like, we should have got here early, but every once in a while we get lucky and we get like 10th row in there, and I've heard their music. I can't imagine how much they would rock that Blues Tent. There's more funk and soul in either one of their Pinky than my whole entire crew. So it would be a real party to watch them at the Blues Tent. So I really do hope that whether it's next year or the year after, when Jazz Fest happens, we want to come see you and see you at the Blues Tent, and hopefully see you somewhere in the quarter late night playing somewhere else.
Oh, that would be great. I know.
Right?
Other than
Oh,
singing, we're just going to hear sighs the whole time.
Man, it's
Right.
crazy because we got invited to Jazz Fest in 2018,
18, yeah.
and we were playing like the garden stage area, like Lagnapi, or I don't even know how to say
Lagnapi, right? Is that what Lagnapi?
yeah, place. And it was outstanding, and we had a blast. And then they wanted us to come back the following year, and this time we were in the Blues Tent, and we played the Blues Tent before, and then they were like, well, we actually want to bring you guys back on another stage at first, and I don't know if it was the Accurate stage. It was one of the stages.
Yeah.
And
remember.
and then they said, wait, actually, we want you to headline the Blues Tent this time.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, what?
Yeah.
Like, yes, of course, man. Yeah.
He's going to get the face.
That's-
Here
Yeah,
it comes.
there it goes. Yeah.
I need like several bottles of Jack Daniels right about now. Right about now.
Stay friendly
Well,
with E.T. He can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll make that happen. But look, if you played once, twice, third time's going to be the charm, and we're going to come see you. Now, I'm going to warn you, if I introduce you to a guy named Darren Hoffman, you don't have to be nice to him.
Now we
All
know.
right? So if you hear that
Oh.
name, you just shake his hand and walk away.
Unreal. Darren
Everyone
watching-
else I'm with is great, but if he's there, you want nothing to do with him.
I said, Darren.
Darren.
E.T., thank you so much, my friend. We're going to hear some tunes. We're going to chat. And again, E.T. is giving away the Sinatra prize pack. You can win the holiday album as well as 2 etched cocktail glasses, and we have answers already in the comments. So ET, check those out. You want to check them out real quick?
Let's see. I'll tell this real quick. Since we have answers, I can't see who's what, but the person who coined the phrase "the Rat Pack." Do you guys know? You ever heard that story? No.
No.
It wasn't anyone you would think. It was Lauren Bacall.
Wow.
So as usual, it was a woman behind great things, not a man, right? So
Of course, I should have guessed that.
Right. So, Bogey, right? Bogey and his friends were hanging out, according to Lauren Bacall, and they, she came home late, and they had been drinking and smoking cigars and playing poker for hours. And when she came back to her house and saw this crew, she's like, "Oh, will you look at this goddamn Rat Pack?" And Bogey, ironically, called him and his friends the Rat Pack. And Sinatra was one of his friends. So Sinatra was, at the time, a young guy in the Rat Pack. And then when Bogey died, Sinatra kind of took the mantle, and it became more of a thing that was public because Bogey was a little bit more reserved and a little less out there than Sinatra.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Shady. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Sinatra became, the Rat Pack, and that's the Rat Pack we know, but Bacall, and they almost got married after Bogey died. Bacall and Sinatra were engaged, and I think they realized they had a connection because of Bogey, and then when that kind of dried out, they're like, I don't know why we're getting married, and just stayed friends. But that's how the Rat Pack got started. That's how the name got started. So if anyone put that, you win. If you didn't put that, but there's a funny answer, you win. If nobody put that, I'm going to send it to you, Chris.
Perfect. Thank you so much, ET. We'll pick a winner, and ET, looking forward to having you back with Willie Watson next week. Thank you, sir.
Sounds good. All right, good luck, guys. Can't wait to hear you and see you in New Orleans in a couple of years.
Thank you.
Thank you, ET.
All right.
Take care.
Take
ET
care.
joins on Drinks with the Band each and every week. Again, follow him at Superhype LLC whenever you head over to Instagram. Guys, it's just the two of us. No, we got that. There we are.
Just
now
us.
That's right. Very
in
happy
trouble
to have you
now.
on the show. Yeah, this is going to get real weird real fast. I do know that there's a lot of people in the comments that are hanging out, wanting to hear some tunes. We'll hear a few from you tonight. I will say we're going to give away a War and Treaty T-shirt. So all you have to do, hit share, let some more people know about this, and you're entered to win. And we'll buy a T-shirt from their store. You're supporting the band, and you can let everybody know how cool you are whenever you're rocking it out too. Guys, I want to talk to you. I got to get to know you. Do you mind kicking things off with a song so people in the comments don't kill me?
No, we don't mind at all.
Awesome.
Sounds
Guys,
good.
take it away. Thank you so much for jumping on tonight.
In the vein of the great Frank Sinatra, as well as Nat King Cole, and so many other great artists that are gone on before us, we want to pay homage by singing a song we wrote in honor of the late, great Ray Charles. This song's called Hey Pretty Moon. Hey pretty moon, so bright and fair, how do you lay in the air of day? Love lying free from all pain.
Wonderful cover. Thank you two so much. I love it. The joy on your face, man. This is so nice to see you guys enjoying yourself. Everybody shouting you out in the comments. Everybody
That's
letting you know.
Our original song.
That's actually original.
I thought you said you were covering. I thought you said you were doing a cover. Oh my gosh!
No,
I was like,
we were dedicating it to the
Yeah,
memory
the
of Ray
old
Charles.
my mistake. I was like, I've heard this before. So look at you. Hey, even better. That's fantastic. You've got. The people in the comments are letting you know that everybody's loving life watching you guys. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, absolutely.
We love y'all.
Yeah, everybody's so kind. And a wonderful. What was the name of the song? I apologize.
It's called Hey Pretty Moon.
Very nice. Okay, I've definitely enjoyed you guys a lot over this pandemic. Putting out a new album, given the I guess circumstances. We talked about touring a little bit. Do you feel like, from the outside looking in, right? I know your head's down and you've got the, yeah, I get it. Michael, Tanya, do you feel like there's still momentum to be gained? It feels like from the outside looking in, you guys are still growing despite facing a ton of obstacles that I know we're all facing, but it's pretty unique for entertainers, musicians, and people that, are on the track that you all are at. Like, it had to be super exciting, just career-wise, to get where you're going, and then the pandemic hits and there's roadblocks in the way. Do you feel like you've gained some momentum though, despite the issues?
I think honestly, we weren't even concerned. I think what mattered most to Tanya and I, one, Tanya got caught COVID early.
Yeah, in March.
And then we start seeing colleagues and legends and family members die from this disease. So not once did we complain about losing income and losing opportunities like that when we were losing life.
Right.
You know, but to answer your question, we have gained so much more perspective during this pandemic.
Yeah.
Perspective on our family, perspective on our marriage, perspective on our business, and perspective on our country and people. And I'm sure we've learned a lot about each other. And I tell you what, we have strategically been placed by the universe in situations that cause us to learn, and situations that helps us connect with people we've never connected with before, such as yourself and such as those listeners and those people in your chats. And you can't ignore that, and you cannot pay for that kind of connection. And it is something that Tanya and I thrive off of, and we are so excited and we're so happy that that's what's been keeping us here.
Yeah.
You know?
Tanya, getting COVID early, I too have lost people, know people. You know, it's everywhere. St. Louis, Nashville, LA, where ET's at. It's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing the perspective you had from that. I mean, was it a rough bout? How did you make it through? I have friends that it doesn't go so well, and then I've had friends that you know, it's literally like a scratch in their throat.
Yeah, I think it depends on the person. I had it for 30 days, you know, no sense of taste, eyesight gone, sense of smell.
Eyesight?
I mean, oh yeah, blurry vision, like I had it, you know, and I didn't take anything for it. I just really shifted my diet and pumped up the vitamin C, vitamin D, echinacea, berries, you know, all the berry fruits and stuff like that. And I did smoothies for like 10 days. That's all I did to reset my body, but it was scary.
And she's not going to say this, but she lives with a chef. So I read somewhere that if you get a bunch of spices, like spicy foods, it will do the trick. So I made her like rice
with garlic
And I
cloves.
put, I didn't put not one garlic clove. I put the whole clove of
Oh.
garlic in it. I put ginger. I put turmeric. I got hot chili peppers. I put hot sauce in it. I tried to heat it up. I cooked it on the stove and put it in the microwave.
Yeah, it did. It was,
So you were.
it was a lot.
I was gonna say, yeah. Thank you for letting us know about that because that seems like a key detail in bringing somebody back. So great work on your. Yeah.
And you got to come and eat some of this nasty food that I make. It's gonna
Nasty
be awesome
food.
for you.
No, I'm down with it, and I'm absolutely coming to Nashville. I'm going to crash on your couch. We're going to be friends. We're going to hang out. We'll,
Let's do it.
I'll cook for you guys too. I will season it up too. I'm
Oh,
down
good.
with
You
that.
can
So
cook?
yeah.
You cook
Oh,
first. You cook first because
Yeah.
I guarantee after you eat my food, you'll never want food again.
It's that rough, huh? I get it. I'm curious too. So you all, do you feel like, what brought you together? What's kind of pushed forward? It probably feels like you've told your band story or the stories that you guys have overcame a million times. I just want to know, in the situation that you're in, you're married, you're in a band that's really getting a lot of traction, and it probably feels like a lot is positively changing. Do you feel like maybe it's more than a job, like you guys are on a mission as well? Like you're so positive, you speak about so many things, and you're open about everything, and that is unique. I think that is marrying maybe a mission with art or something else. So I'm curious how you all feel about that, kind of thinking of yourselves as maybe doing even more than just playing gigs.
Yeah, it's really way more than music for us. I like to call it a calling. Our gifts that we use to connect with people on deeper levels and help them unlock themselves. Because I think when you're vulnerable and you can tell your story and other people can either see themselves in it or see that there's a way out of it, or they get hope from your story, then you're blazing the path not just for yourself but for other people to be vulnerable and tell their stories as well, because we are all just a sum of our experiences. This human experience we're all going through, we're going through for a reason, and it's to help the next person who
Right.
may not have the tools or the skill to get through it. Some people aren't going to go to a mosque or a church or a temple or wherever, but they'll see you, and they'll see whatever that light is in that they see inside of you, and it will help them unlock. So I think that's really, I know that's our goal. That's our life. What we do every day is we live it out with each other, and it's just been an honor for other people to see that in us.
Well, and that's not easy in itself too, because as your platform grows, you're going to have more people become aware, and it's this weird kind of double-edged thing of you're helping more people, but then you're only two people as well. So I think giving those positive vibes off, putting out the music that you do, staying open, like I don't know, I just respect it a ton, and I hope you guys keep growing with that, because that's the stuff that you share. And then you're entertainers as well. That's a unique mix. So if anything, to cap it, great work.
Thank
you.
No,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. So let's get some more background on you all. So coming up, I keep referencing this. This is just a feeling, and it's kind of obvious as far as how certain bands take off. You're getting more shows, you're getting more festivals, different things like that. I know you guys have grinded, and you've done your fair share of 2-person shows or bad paying gigs or anything like that. Can you just give us the short version of what's gotten us to right here to the most important interview you've done to date on Drinks with the Band? No, what's the path? What was the grind? Let's catch people up on why we're so excited to have you here.
Faith, faith in the dark moments, in the dark tunnels, where we could not see the end at all. Ty and I, we got married in 2011. We were homeless, but we just had this sick, crazy belief that we've got something that the world didn't give and the world can't take it away. Like the old folks in the deep Baptist churches of our country would say. And everything that we have done, we've done it on faith. And people tend to believe that that is such a religious term. It's not. Faith comes dripped and steeped and drudged through the grounds of belief. And we believe in each other. You know, we believe in each other's love. When I first met this lady right here, I told her the truth. I said, hey, I ain't got nothing. I ain't nothing. But I'm supposed to be something. And I don't know what it is. And I don't know how I'm going to get to it. But I do know how to love. And I was broken, brother. I'll tell you the truth. When I came to my wife, I already was homeless. I had 3 outfits. In fact, I thought she was crazy as a bed bug because she gave me the time of day knowing that I was standing outside in August performing in a sweater. I'm like, this lady must be off. She's actually going to give me the time of day, and she sees that I'm out here in this hot sweater and it's like 100 degrees. But it was all I had. But I made up my mind that this woman, this black woman, and no woman, but my woman in particular, did not need another lie. I realized that Tanya had been lied to and lied on and lied at, and she did not need another lie. She was desperately looking for the truth. And I told her my truth. I said, hey, I ain't nothing. And but I know how to love. That's all I got at this point in my life. I know how to love. And then she said, well, let me tell you what I see. I see a king. You just need the right kind of queen in your life to help you. And I looked at her and I cried when she told me that. And then I dried up my tears because I thought to myself, oh, she going to think I'm a little punk or something. So I'm just sitting here peeing out the eyes in front of her. So I dried up my eyes and I looked at her. I said, well, all right then. And
with that smile, let me see the smile you gave me. Yeah.
We got married, and we decided after numerous attempts of trying to get jobs on our own, and numerous attempts of trying to have a solo career, and Tanya trying to restart or rekindle her solo career, and it was not happening. It wasn't working, and then we were introduced to a little band. They weren't married, but their chemistry was just undeniable. And the band is called the Civil Wars.
Yeah. John
Paul White and Joy Williams. And we watched them flow like water. Mm-hmm. And we learned and we studied and we realized that we have the ability to flow like that. Whether it's a powerful song, a soulful song, or a reflective piece, we were one. And then we put the faith to the test. Well, let's take our baby and let's get out here on the road, forsaking all others, forgetting everything, and let's just sing our song. And we went from state to state, from little bar to little bar, dive to dive, church to church, wherever, whoever would have us, house to house, we sing. And it just so happens that Don Was from the Was Not Was band, he's the president of Blue Note Records.
The producer for the Rolling Stones.
Producer for the Rolling Stones.
Heard of
called
them.
Wind of Us. Yeah, they're a new and upcoming band, Rolling Stones there. But he called Wind of Us, and he wanted to meet us. And there was some interest there of him signing us to a label at the time. And he showed us what it meant to pay attention. He flew into Detroit. We had a batch of 50 songs. He listened to all 50. And then he realized he wanted to send us to Buddy Miller. Buddy Miller is an Americana phenom. And Buddy called us, and we met Buddy, and through Buddy produced our record and introduced us to Emmylou Harris, and the rest was history from that point on.
Yeah.
Ty and I, we just have this stupid faith that if she and I put our love to it, we can do anything. Yeah. And now we're sitting here on Drinks with the Band.
I mean,
and
thank you.
It don't get no better than that.
I appreciate that, and I think everybody was thinking it, so it's nice to hear that from the artist's mouth. It's a great thing that you've done. No, I appreciate that so much, and I appreciate you guys being so open about that. See, now you got to come back on, so because I have you on record. Yeah, so this is like a legacy thing now. Sorry, guys. No, but all of that in a linear aspect, like where you can actually kind of pinpoint those moments. Those great things don't always happen for everybody. You have the negative side of that. You have different stories that come from different people. So to your point, having that blind faith, or like you said, stupid faith in each other or the work, it has to mean something. So you're outside of Nashville. As you mentioned, you're here on the show tonight. Things are going well. Are you hoping to get back out on the road as soon as things are safe? Is there some sort of timeline you guys are looking at? I mean, everything's so up in the air. I feel like people think when the clock changes over to 21 that things are going to be normal again, and they're not.
Spring. People.
Hey, don't stop. I mean, look where it's got you today. I mean, I'm a negative person, and I'm in St. Louis, man. Come on.
I just think that we've all learned something. If anything, we've learned about 2020 is that we don't have control, of
right.
what's going to happen. One day they made, the vaccines here. The next day it's going to take 3 or 4 days or 3 or 4 months for it to hit the United States. We don't know. But what we do know is that we'll keep doing things like this with people like you, and we'll keep connecting with our fans the best way that we can. Our hope is that we can be back touring by the summer. We have a John Legend's tour that we're scheduled to be on in August 2021. So we're hoping by that time that we're able to
Me too.
do that.
I hope you go on that tour too.
That's
me three.
Yeah.
I hope that happens, So there's hope. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Right.
That and Mike was hopeful that things will turn around. But do I think it's going to happen when the clock strikes?
I don't know. I will say this though. I think that what we have seen over and over again is the ability to figure it out. I mean,
yes.
Look at us. I mean, like, I will say that the key to surviving this was us. You're not going to be able to say, I survived the pandemic. This is definitely we survived it. We thrived. We figured it out. We found a way. And I think that this is something that I believe, I'm a strong believer in the universe. That the universe, for some they will say God, some will say Santa Claus did it, or Easter Bunny, whoever. But the reality of the situation is there is a lesson here that I cannot make it without you, and you can't make it without me. And we saw an influx of police brutality and all these things, and I put a stop right there and I say, we saw a greater surge in humanity. We saw people who probably never spoke up before say, this is not us. That happened in 2020. That happened when the world was standing still and able to see that even in this country, and this country led the way in saying, as white women, as white males, that's not us. As a black male, a black female, that's not our country. So I feel that as long as we're willing to allow the interruptions to teach us, everything is always going to be okay. Did we take hits? Yes. Did we lose money? Michael and Tanya, we have faith, but I will tell you, man, this thing hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we did not have each other, and I'm not overlooking this. This is a great. I am so grateful to be able to have my partner, my best friend, my buddy, be my wife, and be able to tell her, hey, can I talk to my wife right now? Not the war and treaty partner. Yeah. Yes, okay. As a man,
Right.
I feel like I'm failing my family, and for her to look at me and say, never, you know, so. We joke and we glance over the fact that we're doing this interview with you, but I'm going to tell you this interview is a part of the mental health of us to say somebody hasn't forgotten us and still sees us and still wants to hear from us and still want to say your music feeds. Yeah. And so I'm grateful.
Well, I am too. And to your point, I'm thinking just through the pandemic, just Saturday nights or whatever, just cooking and getting more familiar with your albums and all those things. That is something like, I'll take a page out of your book. That's a super positive thing that whether it be you all or other artists as well, like I will cherish. I'm like, well, I worked a ton. I'm happy to be working, but I'm exhausted. And now it's the weekend and I've got streaming music and I'm hanging out and I'm cooking and I'm hanging around people here and there that are fun. And you get to know things a little bit better. So, hey, cheers to you guys, and cheers to keeping a positive attitude too. Do we want to try another song, and then we'll chat a little more and close with one? Is that okay with you guys?
Yes,
yeah,
sure.
Sounds good.
Awesome. And guys, be sure to support them. Ward Treaty are all over social media. I don't know if you realize it, but it can help. Just follow them. And also, we're giving away a shirt tonight. If you hit share, we're going to give away one of those War and Treaty t-shirts to a random person that hits share. So I'll let you all take it away with another original tune. Thank you.
Yes.
I see the morning come near your eyes. Jubilee, Jubilee, shining bright than the sun in the sky. Jubilee, Jubilee. It's shining brighter than the sun in the sky. Jubilee, Jubilee. Ooh. shine brighter than the sun in the sky. Jubilee, Jubilee.
I got nothing. I don't. What do you want me to say? I don't. How am I? Do you want me to? Really? You seriously want me to ask you questions after that? Like, cut the feed. I can't talk. This has been Drinks with the Band. I quit. Good Lord. How much? Yeah. How much to get you all to just soothe me to sleep with that? My gosh. I don't mean in a boring way either. It's just all my cares drifted away. Wow. That was incredible. That's, man, and either you two are just really having a great day, or you can actually see the love coming, like there's hearts coming out of both your eyes and mouths as you're singing that. So, man, just, I'm going to take a minute. So, wow. Incredible song, and thank you so much, too. Man, it's so crazy doing these live streams. It's so funny, the technical issues, the schedules, that you're in a home, you're not in a studio. People don't understand, it is fun doing these things, but there's a lot that goes into it and a lot that can go wrong. And it's so funny because you two have such strong voices together. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll do a little easier song this time. Like maybe what? So we're not hearing the absolute just power in both your voices due to the tech and all that stuff. Thanks, Zuckerberg. But I do appreciate, man, you guys are bringing it. So cheers again. Thank you so much for jumping on tonight. So everybody tuning in, it's Drinks with the Band. My name's Chris Denman. We got the War and Treaty on. We're going to do one more song, but we're going to chat just a little bit more first. We do have a prize to give away. We got that Sinatra prize pack, thanks to our friend E.T. at Jack Daniels. And I do want to let everybody know we do this every Wednesday. Next week, we've got Willie Watson. He from a little band, Old Crow Medicine Show. So he's got some credits himself. I am curious, too, with the new album out and all of the things that you've accomplished as well. Look at this. If you go to their website, too, they've got signed copies of the album. Like, this is fantastic. Great photo, by the way. Right? You guys know how good you look in that picture. So what's a moment that's been kind of a pinch me moment? I mean, is it getting that John Legend tour call? Is it having Jason Isbell feature on a song? Is it I don't know. I'm sure you've had even the Jazz Fest thing is a massive thing. What with the recent ascension, or even just in the last decade, what's something that is a pinch me moment from your career so far?
Ooh, there is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of pinch me moments, and I've kind of just learned to take all of them. You know, of course, the John Legend tour was one. Working with Emmylou Harris on our first record was one. Buddy Miller was one. Just even going to the Americana Awards. The year before we went, we couldn't even afford to get in there. And then the next year we went, we're up there presenting. And the next year we win the Americana Award that year for Emerging Artists. So it's just been so many different, the Grammys in January, performing on the Grammys. Just
that was mine.
Yeah.
That, if I'm being completely honest, and that was an unreal moment. Yeah. And it was twofold because, of course, the Grammys took place in LA in Staples Center. My favorite team, favorite franchise of all time is Los Angeles Lakers. Favorite player is Kobe.
Man.
And
it, that's yeah. For those that don't, that happened. Kobe passed away. It was the the night of the Grammys or the day
Yeah.
of the Grammys.
The
Yeah.
day of the Grammys, and shout outs to Vanessa Bryant and all of the children still living, and the families that were directly affected by the accident that will claim the lives of 9. And we're in the limo line getting ready to walk the red carpet when we get the news. And my team called my wife first because they know, everyone knows, I make it very clear, I make it known that the GOAT is Kobe, like straight up, Kobe Bryant. And there was some chatter in the air that he would be at the Grammys.
Yeah, because
wow.
toured. They gave us a tour the night before of his locker room, and they were like, "This is Kobe's locker room. This is, So Michael was just elated. He was so
Cloud nine.
excited.
Yeah.
I was ready to meet him, man. I was
Yeah.
like, this is going down, bro. I'm
Yeah.
going to actually tell him how much I love him, man. How much
Oh my
it's been a
gosh.
joy watching him play. But I tell you what happened. Sitting in the limo, I had my moment where it was a shock, because we never believe our heroes would die, and know that death is a part of the circle of life. But as we got out and I watched the workers of the Staples Center look so lost.
Oh wow.
They were like, our baby's gone. This one lady, she said, yeah, my baby, our baby's gone. They watched this guy come from high school to the Lakers. Like, a lot of people are missing, and then they forgot that Kobe was a kid.
It was a big deal when he grew a goatee. Like people, like he was a child. Like
Yeah.
I'll never forget watching draft night, and I'm like, the Lakers, Vlade Divac to Charlotte. What they're getting the high school kid out of foot. Okay. Wow. Okay.
It was
All right.
nuts.
Yeah.
But one of the workers said, what would Mamba do? And I looked at her, and she said, it's game time, baby.
Wow.
And I looked at her and I said,
There it is.
Yeah. You're not gonna argue.
That's it.
that's what Mamba would do,
It's a legacy.
Yeah.
So that was our thing, and we're sitting in the Grammys, and never been nominated for one. Never been to the dance at all. Never been to the Grammys. And our first, Kent Ehrlich came to the New Orleans Jazz Festival.
Yeah.
The year we performed, was 10. Harvey Mason Jr. sent him, and he was so moved by the performance that he invited us to perform in the finale on the Grammys. And you're in the same pieces, the artists Camille Cabello, Ben Platt, Lang Lang, Debbie Allen, Misty Copeland, the Dance Company, Cyndi Lauper, the legend, and Common, and John Legend himself is introducing the piece, and LL is closing the piece out. And you're thinking, like, why are we here?
A little imposter syndrome.
Like, what in the hell? Somebody really messed up with this. Like, what are they gonna say? And those people made us feel so at home. Made us feel like this was just a high school play that we have been practicing for 3 days. But to see the vernacular of the production and the majesty and all of the workers, the unsung heroes,
Right.
who later on down the line would be totally affected by this more than us.
Yeah.
You look back on those moments and you go, wow. And to me that was the moment that it really hit me, like, wow, we did the Grammys, like we performed.
You absolutely did, and it's in those moments too. Like, you only get so many firsts, right? Like, it's crazy to think about. I'll never forget the first time getting up on stage as part of like a big show, and it's at like a theater with, like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 people, whatever the capacity is at a theater, And all of a sudden the room shrinks. You can see everybody. I'm like, oh, there's my mom, and I'm about to say a bunch of really bad stories and jokes and stuff like that. But in that moment, and it sounds like you have these too, because I didn't read anything about the War and Treaty completely bombing at the Grammys. You have to seize that moment and live in it and love it too, because you're not going to get too many of those, because just like everything, it's going to start feeling, it's going to feel like routine or whatever else. So, man, the feeling you had to have just owned being part of the Grammys, that's incredible. And I hope that you get those feelings over and over and over with some more appearances there.
Yes,
I hope
definitely.
so too.
Yeah. Guys, I don't want to keep you all night. You've been very generous with your time. If you'll do maybe one more song, and then we can say goodnight to everybody after that.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you so much, guys. Take it away. War and Treaty.
Wanna do five more?
Just want everybody to have a hopeful, awesome rest of the week. 'Cause I've seen our mothers cry within from our fathers who refuse to call us kin. But I sink my hands and nails in the skin. Let's break this curse. Won't you take me in? Oh, won't you take me in? Oh, won't you take me in?
The Warren Treaty, everybody. Everybody's clapping at home, and I certainly am here in the studio. Guys, you've been so lovely to talk to. We got to do something again in the future. Michael, Tanya, seriously, so gracious with your time, and I'm really, really excited for your career and for your helping everyone and just spreading the positivity. So wonderful work, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us
Thank
and
you
have
so
a happy
much.
holiday.
Absolutely. You too. Enjoy yourself. You guys be safe, and let's don't be strangers. Let's make that St. Louis to Nashville connection. We'll make it happen. Guys, we're gonna get out of here. Shout out to ET. We will contact prize winners for the Jack Daniels Prize as well as the Warren Treaty T-shirt. Go support them. Again, brand new album. You can go to the website, get it signed. It's going to be just nothing but positive moves for them in the future. So be sure to follow them now. It's still early enough. You could claim a little bit of hipster cred for those that for the ceiling that I see with you guys. So again, thank you so much. That'll do it. Join us next week for Willie Watson, and have a great night, guys. Thank you so much.